we talk about?
That in.
Totally Spies
God
and,
damn it.
and a lot of The Lion King.
Good job, mate. I appreciate that.
And is it like one of those adopt a wolf for like so and so money a month kind of thing?
Well, it was like just the one time,
Oh, okay.
but it was, and then so basically, all you're basically doing is helping them be their nonprofit organization. You're just
Right.
a donor. And so the wolf that you pushed record, you asshole.
No.
No. Just
But so
And it's not like he hasn't been recording this entire time.
you're not supposed to tell him that. I do really like the last one because you did the snaps and then you mentioned some girl or whatever, and then I threw it. You mentioned some girl, and I threw it in the images in between because he goes snaps, and he's like, you were like, it went all black.
Who did I mention?
And I don't remember who you.
Am I in trouble?
But I left a blank black space, and I put the picture of her in there, and then you were like,
Was it just Monica from
You're-
Doki Doki Literature Club?
you were like, it went all black, and then that was the moment that you hulked out about because I said it's always black when Nate's not around, and then you went,
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You two are you're a master at it.
"What are you talking about?"
He can bring it out, but I have a bit more control of my anger around him.
See, I don't understand what you're talking about.
I know
so
you
I'm
don't.
very confused right now.
No, you're not. You're doing it right now.
What am I doing? Nate, you were telling a story.
yeah, I was just kind of going over the whole I adopted a wolf thing. I didn't actually adopt the freaking wolf. It's almost like now they have the Patreon accounts. It's almost like that, but they're a non-profit organization, and basically to I can't think of the word, but to donate, you get a picture of you get to pick a wolf that you want to adopt. So the one that I picked got a picture and
Was named
basically
Moon.
no, it was Shadow. It was a all black wolf, and gave a little background story and a picture of it. And so one day we were like, let's go check this wolf sanctuary out. So we drove down there, and of course it was a guided tour, so you'd spend just a couple minutes in front of each enclosure. Some of them were back in the brush, you couldn't see them. So then we got to the wolf Shadow that I adopted, that I donated to, and he was sleeping in the brush
He
somewhere.
wasn't there. He wasn't real.
You couldn't actually see him.
So I've got a theory.
Use the shadow.
Close.
Do not bring superpowers into this.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna do it. I guess not superpowers. So the people that run Wolfhaven, they're the wolves.
Ooh, I like
Skinwalker's Nate.
that. I like that. That is a good story. Was that in the backstory about the wolf?
The reason you couldn't see Shadow is because Shadow was taking you on that guided tour.
That's really good.
That was
Steve.
Shadow. And they were like, "Oh, we messed up.
And he's
We have the wrong tour guide out."
right. The funny thing is the tour guide was behind him the whole time, so he was a shadow behind him.
Actually, he was in front of us guiding.
Oh, okay.
See,
That's
that's what I thought.
Okay.
Welcome to the Nailed It podcast, by the
No
way.
shit. Fine. Let's go in that direction then. Do you believe in the supernatural?
Yeah. I think there's definitely things out there that we as humans don't understand yet.
Such as?
Ghouls.
Why did you say it like that?
Canadians.
So, like,
Oh my god.
I think a ghost is a big thing. I mean,
Right. But do you believe there's things like Wendigos and werewolves and
Ryan
stuff?
Reynolds.
maybe
He's a treasure.
Maybe
He
that
is a
there's
treasure.
not exactly werewolves, but there's definitely a reason that these legends came to be.
Right. Well,
There might be just a crazy person out there
what
who's
are
completely hairless
the
and eats
legend
people.
for the werewolves has really to come from the Bible with Nebuchadnezzar. honestly. Like, he gets sent out into the woods and becomes, like, this weird thing akin to, like, the mind of a wolf, and he's out there eating shit and whatnot.
So he just goes feral.
Yeah, exactly.
He's-
that's where, like, the
he's also a
werewolf
hairy
thing
Persian man.
generally came up from. This is what people believe.
So, let's throw it out there. Favorite horror movies?
Ooh.
Jaws. Wait.
That's
No.
That's a documentary.
Yeah, it's true life events. Actually, that was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid.
Scared the crap out of me.
I don't have a lot of horror movies because as a kid I was like really afraid of that stuff.
I mean, yeah.
Obviously.
That's the
Well, it's like because when Darkness Falls rolled around and stuff like
Is
that.
that the one with the tooth fairy?
That's the one with the evil tooth
And
fairy.
it's like when you go into darkness, you fall.
Right.
Okay.
Like that legitimately
I
had me
mostly
so
trip.
scared as a child that I had to sleep with my light on for a week with a stuffed turtle that I named Leonardo after the Ninja Turtle.
So I've
I'm
got
willing to admit that.
two. One is like one that I actually enjoyed, and the other one is one that I saw as a kid that terrified me for about 20 years.
That's a long time, dude. You're like 22 now.
I'm 23. So one that I really enjoyed, Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
That one's a classic.
from the 50s.
That's a classic.
I thoroughly enjoy the one with Donald Sutherland from the 80s. But the one from the 50s, it just like, I don't know. I think it's because it's shot in that very like specific 50s style that I get like that Twilight Zone feeling from it.
Oh, that's fair.
And it's just like, okay, I'm just watching this really long episode of the Twilight Zone, where no one wins. So yeah, that
Do they ever win in the Twilight Zone?
usually no.
Yeah.
and then in terms of movies that actually terrified me for like 20 years, Child's Play.
I was really hoping you were going to say Leprechaun 3, but that's fine.
Why?
That's a great movie.
Leprechaun 5 in the Hood.
I thought that was Leprechaun 3 into
Wait, which one
That was
was
5.
which one was Leprechaun in Space? That was great.
There's a Leprechaun in space?
There's Leprechaun in Space, and there's also Jason in Space.
Jason X was terrible.
But Jason X,
I think you're right. I think it is 3.
Yeah.
Jason X is awesome.
Yeah.
That movie is
in the Hood.
awful. Yeah. Anyways, but no, Child's Play got me a little bit too. I still want to. Have you seen the remake yet? Are you going to
out?
see?
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
Oh,
it's
no.
almost not out in the theaters anymore.
Oh, ooh. Check it out.
Yeah, I wanted to go watch it. Because, well, for one, Mark Hamill is one of my favorite voice actors / actors of all because of the Joker.
And Aubrey Plaza's in it.
And Aubrey Plaza is in it.
Oh boy, let me tell you.
Correct. No, but yeah, no. Chucky went downhill, I think, as Bride of Chucky came out. Because you had Child's Play 1 through 3. Then you had Bride of Chucky with Jennifer Tilly as the female Chucky.
Right.
And you're watching it, it's like, they stopped being scary, and now it's just funny.
So, like,
There's literally, the one after Seed of Chucky literally has a karate segment between the is androgynous the right word? The androgynous
son,
the
seed.
Having a kung fu fight with Chucky.
So, here's the thing with that. Okay, so, like, the first Child's Play, I think I saw it when I was 3 years old.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
And that's why it terrified me. And it sucked because, like, I'd go to the mall.
You see them Cabbage Patch Kids and you just say
No.
flex.
We'd walk by Spencer's, and they have
yeah.
Chucky as a doll.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you know, little 4 or 5-year-old me walks by it, and I'm just screaming, running away. Because
yeah.
I'm terrified.
Dance up on
And-
Cabbage Patch Kids.
And, like, it got to a point where, like, you know, there's a bit where, I think it was the second one I saw, because Chucky is, like, damaged, and he's got, like, scars, and he's got, like, stitches in him.
I don't
in his
think he
face.
gets the damages until after Bride.
Okay, then I might have seen one of the older ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
remember, I'm significantly younger.
No, that's fine. No, because the first one, Chucky gets blown all to hell, and then I think
Whoa.
something
That's
happens.
There's
not a
one where
movie
he
I
gets, like,
wanna
shot
see.
repeatedly. I remember that. And, like,
in
he
the
gets,
first one?
I don't remember which
No,
one.
in the first one when they're finally beating him, his head's blown off, and they set him on fire.
He, like, throws his head into a fireplace, right?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
in the second one, I forget exactly what happens, but at some point during that and the third one, they mix the doll from the second one into the plastic of the other dolls, and they make a whole bunch of other buddy toys. And now there's multiple different Chuckies running around because the soul got split into every one of them, which then plays out into the last 2 movies which I forget what it is. It's like the last one's Cult of Chucky. Because
I haven't seen that one.
In the last one, they bring back the child actor from the first 3.
Like he's like an adult now?
Yeah, he's an adult.
That's kind of cool.
And he has the original Chucky doll sitting just the head on a thing, and he's torturing it while there's 3 other Chuckies rolling around this insane asylum trying to get this girl to take over her body because they're now choosing her instead of Andy. And they actually get her. And at the end of the movie, the new Chucky like human walks out and meets Jennifer Tilly, who turned back into a human and then leaves. So Chucky wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was like, even throughout high school, like I wouldn't like scream, but I would just like get
Tense up, yeah.
get chills whenever I see Chucky. And then it got to a point where if I saw like this one time, my brother, did small child thing, jumped off the couch, hit his head on table, and he had to have like stitches on his forehead.
Oh wow!
That scared the crap out of me because I've got this human that's this tall,
right, with
looking
stitches,
like pasty,
yeah.
freckles.
Yeah,
looking like Chucky,
yeah.
and I'm just like, get out of my room. And then one day, and it was Chance who made me do this in high school. Chance made me watch Seed of Chucky, and
it's like the worst one.
I know. After I watched it, I was like, this isn't scary.
No.
And then I went back and I think I watched the first one. Mm-hmm. The one where he gets his head put in the fireplace, mm-hmm. and it was just like completely gone. And then ever since then, it's just like I can,
right.
I can just look up Chucky and I'm completely fine now.
Yeah, because
in ruining their own franchise, they cured me of my fear.
I'm pretty sure the beginning of Seed of Chucky starts out with them filming a documentary or a horror film about Chucky.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Anyways,
also, Chance called the karate fight in the movie.
Did he call it?
Yeah, because like the son like lifts up his like little like tag and it says like made in Japan. and Chance goes, if this movie ends in a like old like Bruce Lee / Jedi Geki style final fight between Chucky and his son doing martial arts, he was like, I'm walking out of this living room. Both things happened. I was just cracking up the whole time.
Did he walk out?
Yeah, he left the living room. He was just like, this is stupid.
Yeah. In recent times, in terms of horror movies, because it's really hard for me to just like, I'm interested in you. It's like the only thing that's gotten me interested has been it. Because
I'm super stoked about the new It.
It's so good. I never watched the original...
The TV series?
Yeah, the original one with Tim Curry. I watched a kill count video on that. That movie, or that little thing was just like, it was all over the place. No, it was fine. I watched the first one. I'm like, this movie's good. It wasn't really scary, but...
It's just disturbing.
It's disturbing.
Yeah.
It was actually disturbing, like, especially with Pennywise doing the whole, like, opening the top half of the mouth and the eyes rolling back.
I felt
when
like
he shows like the deadlights.
Yeah.
I felt like one of the best scenes in that movie was when they were watching the film.
Oh, and the projector.
And the projector, and it starts going faster, and then all of a sudden the hand comes out, and you're just like, that's really well filmed.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for the second one. I'm just like, I'm sitting there getting hyped for it. It got me on a little Stephen King kick where because I read all of, what was it?
Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower, yeah. The Dark Tower is a good series. Up until the end, it threw me for a loop. I don't know. Have you read it?
Reading.
Okay.
You're so funny.
I haven't read it, but I know how it ends.
Right. Okay, so spoilers if you're going to read The Dark Tower. Dave is being a douche. Stop with your fake ass laughing and your red face, you tomato.
Whoa.
I'm curbing the anger. That's mild.
Okay.
No, so what happens is that after everything that goes through the Dark Tower, finding... I mean, you don't have to speak, really. You're just here to look pretty. So everything that happens through the Dark Tower, like the adventures of Roland Deschain and Susanna Dean and Eddie Dean and Jake Chambers and the little weird... I don't even know what to call it. I think his name was Oof. It was like a little animal. They go through all this stuff. They like fight crazy mutant dudes. They end up... finding Randall Flagg, who was also named Walter O'Dim. Randall Flagg was in The Stand. He was the dude in The Stand. He's like a multiverse magical dude.
Okay.
Everything went through all that. Eddie dies, Jake dies, Susanna leaves that universe and goes to a different universe where Jake and Eddie are alive, and Roland gets to the Dark Tower after defeating the Crimson King through legitimately just erasing him from existence due to some dude with magical painting powers. And he gets to the top of the tower and the entire book resets. It literally ends. The last line is the first line from the first book. It's
it's the Matrix.
yeah.
It's an infinite cycle.
Yeah,
Isn't it implied that this isn't even Roland's first time hitting
It's
the
not.
Dark
It's
Tower?
not Roland's first time running through the Dark Tower like that.
It's the Matrix.
The only thing that
Matrix 3.
well, no. The thing that's different is that Roland had a chance. He had a chance to not go forward with it, which is obviously is like it's been brought up to him before. The only thing that's different is that there's a story in the 4th or 5th book. I think it was the Dark Tower. No, Gunslinger. I think it was like it's the 4th or 5th book, and it tells stories. It tells Roland's story back when he was a child, when he first learned to become a gunslinger and shit like that. And he meets this woman named Susanna, and they have like a love fling, but then she gets burned at the stake because she decided she wouldn't want to be sold off to some douchebag. With that, there was a specific horn that belonged to Roland's friend that he blew at the battle where Roland's friend died, and he has that at the end of the Dark Tower, possibly signaling that there's going to be a change in this run, but it's not for sure because you'll never know. The entire story was really good. Really good up until that last one where I was like, I don't have the same connection to the people now because the people that I liked and cared about are gone. Like you had, like the thing that made up what they called the quartet is just, it's really good because all those characters were able to bounce off each other and you kind of went on this adventure with them. But with half of them dead, not to mention Stephen King being the pompous, amazing motherfucker that he is, throwing himself in his book. Like he throws himself in his book at the time where he started writing the books again.
Yeah.
Because there was an issue where he almost got hit by a car, and then he started writing the book, and that's where he puts himself in. And it's like going to the end and watching other people die or jump to different dimensions. Like it's just Roland. I'm back to with just Roland, where you're in the first book, and that first book does not make sense with the way that they're speaking. And you're back to just Roland. It's like you start to grow a hate for him because everything he's doing is just so selfish and stuff like that. Anyways, Dark Tower and everything about Stephen King, his multiverse is connected.
They mentioned Pennywise, don't they?
They mentioned Pennywise in a couple of books. There is a character from Salem's Lot that gets brought into the Dark Tower in the Wolves of Kala, where they have to fight off these Doctor Doom looking robots and stuff like that. And so all that stuff is just like the fact that his universe is connected is so interesting. It made me want to read it, but I also don't have time to read an 1,000-page book right now.
It's also really weird because it likes to jump, instead of it being like kid story, adult story, it'll jump back and forth.
In the book?
Yes.
Okay. So it follows more of the miniseries rather than what the movie's trying to do.
Yeah, because when you're reading about how they beat Pennywise as kids, that's the very end of the book, coinciding with how they're beating him right now.
Really?
As an adult, yeah.
That's super weird.
Because it'll be one chapter is the kid, then the adult, kid, adult.
Oh wow.
I believe
really
that's
graphic.
Also kind of how the
miniseries did it.
Miniseries
Yeah.
did it.
It showed each character, and every time they introduce a new character, they have a flashback of them going to fight Pennywise as a child.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, that's exactly how it's done.
Yeah. Okay.
But the book's really graphic.
Yeah. No, there's a scene in there that should not be in there.
Yes. Yeah. That
it's
scene.
really terrible, and they've taken out of every iteration since because that makes sense.
Because you cannot do that on the screen.
No, you cannot.
Cannot do that. She shouldn't have done it.
Okay,
To begin
I'm
with.
just gonna spoil it.
No, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it. We all know. Everybody knows about it.
We're gonna get striked.
Except for Nate.
Except for me.
We'll tell you later.
I'll tell you after.
We'll tell you after, but
Yeah,
we'll
other
be
than that,
recording it.
what is it? Peter Skarsgård? Is that the dude playing Pennywise?
Yes.
Yeah.
The guy who played the vampire in Hemlock Grove.
Is that who that is? Mm-hmm. Oh. But no, he does a really good...
The modern day Nosferatu, just...
He plays a really creepy Pennywise, and I really enjoy his Pennywise as a kid. I don't have an issue with clowns. he's like,
I kind of do.
You're a clown.
I wish.
Evil. Like, one of the movies that scared me when I was a kid was Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Wait, you don't like being put into a cotton candy
It's
cocoon?
just so disturbing. That one. So the movies that I didn't like when I was a kid was, I loved Jaws, I loved Alligator and Orca, and
I've never even heard of those.
Orca was like the.
Free Willy?
It was basically the same type of movie as Jaws, except for it was a killer whale, and at the end, I believe the whale wins. On that one. It's basically like the kind of like along the lines of Moby Dick's story, but now more up to date. But yeah, the whale basically chomps him in half. The main character.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
for like a 50-year-old movie.
Yeah, it's like a 60-year-old movie. And I love those type of movies. The movies that disturbed me when I was a kid was Pet Sematary.
Which they just remade that. I want to see that too.
I would like to see that. That one's out on video now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Arachnophobia I thought was hilarious when I was a kid.
Every spider movie that's ever existed has been stupid.
Eight-Legged Freaks is one
dumb.
of my favorite movies.
Oh, it's a great movie.
It's so funny.
Kingdom of the Spiders with William Shatner is great. So there's a lot of like bad spider movies and stuff like that. But the Pet Sematary was like one of the ones that really disturbed me when I was a kid.
Stephen King is an evil genius.
I never watched the It TV series, so I watched It for the first time at home with my cousin Steve or whatever.
The newest
one.
Yeah.
And I thought that one was just fun to watch.
It's good.
I'm super stoked about the new one. I saw a trailer for it in one of the last movies I saw, and I wasn't quite sure because it's just some person going to a house of this old person, and she's just talking about stuff, like she's researching something, and then the grandma's just talking and responding, and then all of a sudden she just kind of starts doing crazy stuff in the background while she's talking, and she does like all this body morphine stuff, and it's just really disturbing. And then all of a sudden the old lady goes to attack, and then it just says It, and I was like, oh, that was It.
That's a good trailer.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, like listening.
That was It doing It.
Yeah, listening to the scene and how that works out, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
because I think they also make a comparison to it from the book, or when I was looking at the kill count video, like that entire scene is kind of nuts. But it was Pennywise being Pennywise.
It was really filmed amazingly, and I was like, I'm stoked to see this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah. I like it. Nate?
Mine, to this day, Jaws. Sharks freak me out.
Love Jaws.
But then again, I
love Meg too. It's great.
Why do you hurt people?
Hurt people? It's Jason Statham.
What about Jason Statham? Sorry, you know what? Shut up. Continue.
And then, like you were saying, Body Snatchers. Watch that one. For some reason, my parents thought it would be a good idea to rent it, and we watched it as a family. And then probably 2 to 3 weeks afterwards, I was like sleeping with the light on.
I would mess with my kid if we saw that. Like the next day after seeing the movie, he'll just like ask me a question, and I'll just go. If you haven't seen the movie, that's
my brother did something similar like that to me, because we watched this movie where like this woman goes to the Bermuda Triangle and it creates like a time loop for her. So I was heavily invested in the movie because I was very young at the time. So we're watching it and we get done, right? And the movie ends however it ends, I forget. And then my brother does something and he leaves, and I start talking to my sister-in-law, and then my brother comes up and does the same thing again. My brain just stopped. I was like, shut up, bro.
And then it was for just a brief, maybe week. Was
Speak louder, champ.
Let
the grown-ups hear you.
The trolls in Ernest Scared Stupid.
I'm sorry. You got afraid of an Ernest movie? Is that what I heard?
Yeah. Mainly the scene where the kid's in his bedroom and he hears something and like he looks under the bed and
Oh, it's so sad.
yeah. You haven't seen Ernest Scared Stupid?
No.
Just Ernest was this.
It's a comedy.
Yeah,
it is a
it's supposed to be
comedy.
a comedy.
It is
But
real
it's
bad
a-
comedy.
Yeah,
a-
they're all terrible. He had like 20 movies.
Halloween. It's like his Halloween one. And there's a troll, and it basically turns, if it touches kids, it turns them into statues, like wooden statues. So all these kids go missing, and Ernest basically comes upon this troll, and it's basically fighting this troll.
Did you ever see the Trolls 2?
No.
You have to see it. It's a European film, and this movie is called Trolls 2. All the characters all the bad guys in it are not trolls. They're called they're called what are they? I can't think now.
Is there a Trolls 1 or is the first movie
No,
Trolls
there's
2?
no Trolls 1. So the thought was
That's funny.
It's hilarious because it's actually kind of a disturbing movie. But so the thought of the guy that wrote it is that there was a Trolls 1 movie coming out. There was a Trolls movie coming out. So he thought it'd be a great idea if he called his movie Trolls 2, even though the people that were after him were not trolls. They were like gnomes or they were goblins, or what they were, and they call them goblins in the film. It is this most weird, and it's kind of along that lines of things where people are going missing, and basically the goblins are turning people into, I want to say, like statues
It's
or
a
moths
foreign
or something
film,
like
right?
Yeah, it's a foreign film.
Okay.
I get together and I watch really bad B horror movies with Steve Mize, and that was one of the ones that we watched.
Why do you keep... My phone is telling me something. It wants me to watch Tiny, because I can't type anything.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I love that the phones do that because it's very disturbing.
Troll Hunter is also a good movie. It's not a horror movie, but it's like a found footage documentary about like Scandinavian trolls. Some are big, some are small, some live in forests, some live under bridges.
Yeah, you're going to have to find it for me. Oh, was it made in 1990? Is it this?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks awful.
Okay.
Always.
And literally it says it's not Trolls, it's Troll 2.
Yeah, Troll 2.
And the top caption of this poster was "One was not enough." Oh,
That's
okay.
amazing.
So here's like the little bio
Yeah, that's
on
what I wanna
IMDb. A family vacationing in a small town discovers the entire town is inhabited by goblins disguised as humans who plan to eat them. Now, I don't play D&D quite often. I'm not even all about the Lord of the Rings, to be honest. Is there a difference between trolls and goblins, Caleb?
Again, or is it D&D? Is it Lord of
Let's
the
say D&D.
Rings? Yeah.
What's the difference? I mean, I need some descriptors.
It's just trolls are like I said, trolls in D&D are basically trolls from like Scandinavian mythology.
Okay.
So sometimes they can be, really tall, really skinny, kind of looking like Warcraft trolls.
Okay, kind of like dwarves or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like Jotuns,
And
like
then-
baby Jotuns.
And then sometimes, they're big and fat, like the troll in the dungeon from Harry Potter.
Okay,
And then as far as like Lord of the Rings is concerned, they don't even know.
that's fair.
They turn into stone in sunlight until they don't.
Thank you.
I believe
Thank
it.
you. Yeah, that's great. It's a great scary movie that is just so bad. And I think the goblins or whatever win at the end, basically.
I mean, we're all goblins on the inside.
I know I am.
I have mind goblins.
We all see shiny objects and we're just like,
That's true. So I finished Avatar: The Last Airbender.
"Oh, this is your first time finishing it?"
No, but it's the first time.
Wait, the TV series?
Yeah, the
Or-
TV
okay.
series.
Series? Are you talking about the TV series?
Yeah, no, it's the first time I've watched the whole thing since it released.
Xavier,
Okay.
how was it?
It was amazing.
That's great.
Just watching it from its beginning, I didn't realize how long it was. Even though you're saying it had a short runtime, it doesn't seem like that. I forgot how good the writing is, the comedy. It's good. I didn't realize that they changed Iroh's voice actor between books 2 and book 3 because the voice actor passed away.
The last episode, his last episode was Tales of Ba Sing Se.
Was it really? Oh no!
That's like that was like the double whammy because when it aired on Nickelodeon, I think isn't it Iroh's is the last. No, Iroh's isn't the last.
No,
episode.
Appa's is the last one in that
So
episode.
it's like that episode ends, and I'm like still,
Crying?
I'm still crying from
Yeah.
Iroh's story, and then it just says like, Mako something to 2006, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, no.
Kind of like that one episode of SpongeBob with Pat Morita, where that was the last thing Pat Morita ever did, and it showed his little thing at the end. And
Who was Pat Morita in that show?
He was like this old sensei in the Karate Tower episode.
Oh, okay.
So
In, like, 2005.
wait, so what happened in the show that coincided with him passing?
Okay, in season 2, there's an episode just called "The Tales of Ba Sing Se." Anybody that's watched Avatar,
You're already crying.
you're already crying. So what this does is that it gives a couple of little snippets of the characters in this book that kind of explain things that's happened, or it just kind of gives the character a little bit more insight on what they're supposed to be doing. And there's a character in the show named Iroh. He was a general in the Fire Nation army who quit after his son passed away. And his son passed away on one of the sieges of Ba Sing Se, if I'm not mistaken. So by this point, Iroh and his nephew Zuko, who at the time was partially the main antagonist of the show, they're in Ba Sing Se as refugees from the Fire Nation because Azula is crazy as hell and the Fire Lord's evil. So for Iroh's part of Tales of Ba Sing Se, he's going around helping this kid and meeting all these people, being just nice and as generous as possible. And at the end, he walks up to this tree with a picture of his son and lights a candle and is singing this song that he sang for this kid to calm him down. And he just starts crying. And you're just like, I can't. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
I know, me too.
It's like, I can't believe that this man who was generally the nicest character in the show, the wisest, had to go through all this stuff, and his entire family disowned him because he left war because he was grieving.
Basically, it's like, had that not happened, Iroh would have become Fire Lord.
Yeah,
he would have been like the main antagonist of the series, but it's like
probably not even.
He would have been the leader of the antagonist faction.
Yeah.
They were already in the war, so he would have been the main antagonist. I don't think he would have been able to stop it. It's
As Fire Lord, he can, because that's what Zuko did.
Did Zuko stop it?
Yes, Zuko absolutely stopped it.
Are you sure Aang didn't stop
Aang
it?
stopped Fire Lord Ozai. Anybody else could have continued the war, and then when Zuko came into power as the Fire Lord, he said, yeah, no, quit this shit. We're going to fix everything. Which still took forever, by the way, because then Zuko still had to look for his mom, which that story is crazy as hell.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I'll tell you that story. We can talk about that later.
But anyways, yeah, you get through this really whole, this sad story about this, man who is in everyone's top 5 favorite Avatar characters list, and then at the very end of it, it's just oh, by the way, the voice actor died.
Yeah. So
and then he got replaced by Mr. Mushnik from Little Shop of Horrors.
That's true, because the guy who played Iroh before was the same dude who played Aku in Samurai Jack.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this guy's voice acting for Iroh was perfect. And after I saw that and I understood what was happening in that episode, you notice that a couple of episodes in between that, towards the end, there's just a part where they reuse voice lines for Iroh, but then there's when Iroh's in prison, he doesn't speak for 4 episodes because they're finding a new voice actor. And then Iroh gets ripped, breaks out of jail, and then
That's a funny scene.
it's just
It was just let me just like upside down.
Yeah, there's a point where like they give him a portion of food, he grabs it, hops up on the top of his bar, just doing chin-ups, one-handed, just eating this piece of bread. Because Iroh's a fucking beast.
That's what I do every day.
Avatar's really good. If you haven't watched Avatar, go watch Avatar. I did finish the first season of Korra, though. Watching it, I realized how good it is. Shut up.
Sorry. I immediately thought, when you said Korra, I thought the first thing that came to my head was Korra the Explorer. But...
So, something I did notice specifically about Korra that's different to Avatar is that they have a lot more scenes at night. Like... They have so many more scenes that happen. I think maybe it's because it's during like the industrial time.
I guess because there's lights in the city.
Right. But like when they have the nighttime, it accentuates the art a bit more due to the specific types of lighting that happen in the show. It's just the TV.
Yeah.
But no, there's a scene where the antagonist of the first season, Amon, is flying up into a blimp, right? And Korra is shooting up out of the water, and then Lim Beifong shoots her up.
When they're like in the arena.
Yeah, in the arena, right? And he shoots it up into the sky, and she's going after, and it's just so dark that when she shoots a flame into the blimp, Amon steps up like nothing's happening, but it lights up the whole area real quick, and it looks great. I, like I said, finished the first season, into the second season, then I took a break because I was watching JoJo. I'm afraid of the second season that it'll kill me off completely because season 2 is where everybody says the problem is with Unalaq and the spirits and whatnot. But I'll push through it because Avatar 1's dope. Fight me. Change my opinion. But you'll lose because you'll fight me. With my wits.
Bold words.
I've been watching a lot of JoJo.
A
lot of mind wit.
Yeah. I've eaten a lot of JoJo's.
Good.
Good. Yeah, thanks.
Found out that's like a Washington exclusive term.
Really?
For the potato wedges?
What are they called?
Like normally?
Yeah.
Potato wedges.
Potato wedges.
But they're JoJo's.
Up here, yeah.
But they're on the packages as JoJo's.
Up here, yeah.
Okay. All right, whatever. So I wanted to talk about...
I'm afraid.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's kind of along the same line. I want to talk about snobs and hobs. Hobbs and snobs. Hobbs and jobs.
And there goes 2.
Bobs and snobs?
I don't even know the correct names anymore. So.
No, I don't either.
And
Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, okay.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw. I watched that last night.
I'm sorry.
Where
How's
does it take place?
Driss?
Which one's Driss?
Idris Elba.
Oh, yeah.
The Black
Where does it take
Superman.
place?
Black Superman? So this is, oddly enough, it is a Fast and the Furious spinoff.
Yes.
How is it oddly enough?
It's obvious.
I want you... what I would like is... Why I start to talk about it. I want you to look up the IMDb, the synopsis of the new movie, and then I want you to look up the original synopsis for the Fast and the Furious. How far...
Oh, yeah.
How
completely different.
How far have we gone off track here?
It's basically just gone in 60 seconds, turned into Avengers Endgame.
Yes. Oh, I don't even know where to begin. If you go into it, just going... Because the girlfriend and I went to watch this knowing it is just going to be over-the-top, ridiculous, dumb movie. And did we get it? Yes, we did.
It pretty much shifted that right after Tokyo Drift.
So, it was... Everything about this movie is... It's definitely a fun watch. It's if you enjoy the action films, if you enjoy Dwayne Johnson and what's his name? Jason Statham. If you enjoy those two, they're great together. They're fun to watch together. They both do both of their acting styles in the movies where he's like, and they also reference a bunch of their different movies in a kind of a lighthearted, joking way where like they're going into Jason Statham's lair and they're passing all his cars and then they pass like a Mini Cooper and he makes...
fucking tell me they make a transporter joke.
No, they make an Italian job joke.
God.
where they basically pass the Mini Cooper and The Rock makes a small dick joke, and he said, and then Jason goes, that's something I did a job in an Italian.
Oh my god. That's so
A
bad.
job in Italian,
Yeah.
not a job in Italy.
Not a yeah, something like that. And so also they throw in some, like, Ryan Reynolds is in it just for whatever reason.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
And Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Just his quick wit, just, you know.
The only way Ryan Reynolds can be the best Ryan Reynolds.
Where you're like, oh, I love Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I would just throw him into anything, and I'm happy because he does a lot of those. You know, he's talking to The Rock, and he's saying, we're best friends,
Right.
And The Rock is, we're not best friends. And he's like,
Have
I
you-
understand that you feel this way, but we are the bestest of
Have you
friends.
seen his tweets?
Oh yeah, no,
No,
he is.
he just recently posted one where it's like, look who I ran into after trailing him all day. It's a picture of him and Hugh Jackman. He follows him everywhere. Dude.
Yeah.
They're always messing with each other.
Oh, and I love the Hugh Jackman where they reviewed each other's alcoholic beverages, where they're like, we put away the fighting and stuff like that, and Ryan does this like really beautiful masterpiece to review Hugh Jackman's liquor or whatever it is, and then when it comes to Hugh Jackman's, he's like, oh, I didn't know you were gonna be actually nice. and he basically takes it and basically pisses on it.
Oh my god. Okay. So I have Hobbs and Shaw. You got the original?
Do the original first.
Yeah, do the original first.
Wait, where did you get yours? Because I just got mine off IMDb.
Yeah,
That's all you need to do.
IMDb. Quick synopsis.
Oh yeah. Also, I think I mentioned this before, but Roman Reigns knocked the cameraman unconscious during one of the scenes.
Right.
I don't know exactly what scene it was, but he had something in his hand. I think he was doing the haka or something. And he like accidentally like threw it like back behind him, and it just like smacked the cameraman in the head.
Yeah. So Roman Reigns is supposed to be a huge thing that they say is in the movie, and that he got a huge push for.
He's only in there for like a little bit, isn't he?
He's in there for a brief period. He's basically a background character, no speaking lines or anything like that.
He's like the brother, right? Like Dwayne's brother.
No, he's just part of their huge tribe of people. He's just a person.
You mean his actual family?
Basically, yeah.
Let's let him read it.
So Fast and Furious takes you inside the world of street racing. Dominic Toretto is a gang leader who is accused of hijacking.
Wait, I'm just looking. And I just went up to the top where the movie was.
That's fine.
Oh.
Do whatever.
Well, yeah, then I clicked on more because it only has
Even-
it has a dot 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 dot. So there's more. So
Oh, okay, yeah, no, you do you.
And then it brought up like multiple ones. I'm like, crap, which one do I read? So I just started reading this one.
That's fine.
Dominic Toretto is a gang leader who is accused of hijacking trucks and stealing over $1 million worth of electronic equipment, VCRs.
Oh my god, that's so old.
It's funny when they open the truck and there's a bunch of VCRs and it's the FBI sends LAPD officer Brian O'Connor undercover into Los Angeles street racing circuit to take down Toretto and his team. As O'Connor becomes part of Toretto's life and gets involved with his sister Mia, he tries to prove that Toretto is innocent. R.I.P. Paul Walker, we love you.
Okay, so the short synopsis for Hobbs and Shaw is: lawman Luke Hobbs and outcast Deckard Shaw form an unlikely alliance when a cyber-genetically enhanced villain threatens the future of humanity.
Sums it up right there.
Right, so I
Fast
just
and
want,
Furious, the Winter Soldier.
so this is just what I want to mention. There's a user review that gave it 8 stars. It says, if you expect Schindler's List, then you're in the wrong place. I'm not doing that anymore. And then, just for a little bit of trivia, just for you,
That's
Caleb. WWE superstar Roman Reigns plays Luke Hobbs, Dwayne Johnson's brother in the film. But in reality, they're cousins.
Yeah.
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 So, if you go into the mindset of I am just watching an over the top ridiculous film with cyber
Black Superman.
Black Superman.
In case any of you guys were wondering why I made that face earlier when I pulled out my phone, it's because I read that and I thought about every Fast and the Furious movie, and I'm like, how?
Right.
So-
No, where does it connect? And it made me go, how many of these did I miss?
How many those?
They're making
This
Fast
is-
9 right now.
They're making Fast 9. I haven't watched the last two. The last one I watched was the one with Paul Walker because I wanted to see how they threw him in with him dying.
Was it
Fast
7, I believe.
Fast 7? Okay.
But
Because then they made Fate of the Furious.
I didn't watch... I watched the first one. I watched the second one, and I was like, this is dumb. And then I didn't watch after that, and then they said the whole Paul Walker thing, so I was like, I'm interested to see...
You miss, like, so many movies. Because there's Tokyo Drift, and there's the Fast and the Furious, there's Too Fast, Too Furious, there's Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Furious... I think they missed 6, and they called the one that you watched was Furious 7, I want to say.
Yeah.
And then there was Fate of the Furious, and there's just no sense.
There's like
And then there's after Fate of the Furious, it's Hobbs and Shaw, and then they have I think they're having more Hobbs and Shaw movies.
Yes.
And
So
then
that
they're
one,
having more Toretto movies.
this one definitely, they have like this underground organization that basically says, you're next. We're going to go after you type thing. And so there is a part of the movie which is the very end up. This is what I would really love to see in a movie.
Is it a spoiler?
No, this is not a spoiler. So they do because you know that from the previews. Oh, there's also one. We're in the movie, and in the trailer for the movie, they have, they do like a trick underneath a vehicle, and then the motorcycle goes underneath and like falls apart, and then snaps back together and goes off. Somebody goes in the theater, goes, "What the?" Like real loud, and we just started laughing because we're like, it's in the trailer.
Some people stay clean.
Right. So it was a great film.
Oh, dude, that size all you need. It's like legit disappointment.
No, it's fun, but the reason why I don't I like the Transporter 1, but I didn't like any of the ones after because they just got ridiculous. Like him flipping upside down and having a crane take off the bomb and then flipping down, and then that happens in Transporter 2.
I've never watched a single Transporter movie.
Me either.
Oh,
The first one was good.
the first one was good. It was slightly based off of like a James Bond type of thing, and then they were just like, we're just gonna do a massive explosion. This guy can do anything with a car thing. Which is kind of along the lines of this movie. They're doing absolutely ridiculous stunts.
Well, I mean, like I said, in the first two Fast and the Furious movies, it was all street racing shenanigans.
Right.
Tokyo Drift was in that same vein, where legitimately it was just them drifting down a mountain or drifting in a highway parking lot. Then we got Fast and Furious, where the entire thing was Letty got killed, and then Toretto's on a death march to go find the dude that killed Letty. And in reality, it was just Michelle Rodriguez got into some shit and had to go to jail.
Right.
And then Paul Walker was trying to stop Toretto, and they end up working together after going to find this Colombian drug lord or some shit like that. And then you get into the next movie where they introduce Hobbs, and it turns out that Letty's alive. She just had amnesia, and that's literally it.
Right.
Doesn't she also get amnesia at some point in the Resident Evil franchise? Michelle Rodriguez?
She dies in the first movie. And then they clone her, and then bring like two different versions to where it's like this prissy, all dressed up Michelle Rodriguez, who's part of this fake ass neighborhood. And then we have the combat Michelle Rodriguez that has the Las Plagas virus implanted into her. So halfway through the fight, when she's in the middle of a snowstorm with her tank top off, this weird meat thing pops out of her mouth and starts fighting still.
Interesting.
I've seen too many of those, and I'm not proud of it.
So,
Paul W.S. Anderson, you ruined my life. Get off Monster Hunter.
So there.
He's making Monster.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
he is
Guess
making-
who else is gonna be in it?
Mila Jovovich.
Yes, with Tony Jaa.
So
Tony Jaa's cool.
in the movie, they do the whole setup thing where they're like, the bad guys are coming here, so we need to set up everything.
It
And
never works.
this one, well, one, yes, it never works, but two, I love how they always have like this huge setup that would take like a month to do, and they do it within like a 30-minute frame of time. And then I would love to see the movie when they're in the middle of setting things up, and then the bad guy just kind of shows up and he's like, we're here, and they're like, well, can you just like go? We're not done setting up everything. So in the movie, they set up some stuff like way far away. Like, basically, you think, oh, they're setting this up so they know that they're coming
Right.
or whatever to get. No, they set up this elaborate thing where this crazy stuff happens, and they have to get to this spot in the craziest way possible. And you're like, you set that up? Are you kidding me? Nobody in their right minds would thought that this chain of event would happen to lead you to this point.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question.
But then there's one other thing that happens that is pretty classic, which I've seen a lot more in action movies lately, where they start the scene and it feels like it's midnight. They do this scene where some explosions happen and everything like that. It is pitch black out. The next scene, it is like midday. Like it's bright as everything.
Is this
Everything.
the after battle sequence?
No, it's during the battle.
Oh.
Implying that the battle has taken like 12 hours.
Right, implying that this is taken for a long time. But they have, one of the persons has a thing on them that is counting down the time. 10 minutes has passed that they show from this countdown, because it's a 30-minute timer, basically explosion type thing. And it is nighttime, and then it turns to daytime. They fight more, and then they go back to that thing. 10 minutes has passed. And then they do another thing. So it says literally on there, 21 minutes left. And then they do this whole other thing, and you're just like, oh, what is going on? And then all of a sudden, they do like a camera cross thing. 1 minute has passed. 1 freaking minute has passed.
Caleb.
And I was like, are you kidding me? This is something that is keeping track of the time, and you are showing it on frame, and like an hour has passed.
It's movie rules. Time doesn't exist. It's a foreign concept to everybody.
Right,
I
but
absolutely hate stuff like that.
Okay,
but
so-
this is continuity problem, like near the
It's
end.
Fast and the Furious.
I know.
Continuity got thrown out the window 12 years
The
ago.
continuity is fast and it is furious.
But at least if you're doing a night shot scene, keep it as night, or just have it as a day shot. But I understand they do this thing where this car lights this whole thing on fire, and it is pitch black out, and they want to show that it's a cool scene. But then the next scene, it's sunny.
Yeah.
That car ignited the sun.
Right.
Okay, well,
Must have.
We get it.
And then,
Oh,
so
God,
that
he's
they
gonna
go
keep
down
going.
further.
We get it. It's
and then,
stupid.
And then they have the big battle scene, and then the next thing you know, it is raining, and it is dark again. Midnight again. And you're like, what is going on? How did it become midnight again?
Okay, so let me ask this. Possible spoilers. Let me ask first. Are you going to go watch this movie? Because I'm not.
I
Are you going to watch this movie?
Not in theaters, no.
Okay, so do you guys care if I ask a question about a specific spoiler that's going to be in the movie?
I mean, go right ahead.
Okay.
Hold on. Spoilers.
If you don't put a graphic up, I'm going to be disappointed as
Like
hell.
a car spoiler?
Oh, you want a car spoiler?
Oh, that's terrible, but I like it.
Put it.
Oh,
put
yeah.
Put it on Nate's shoulders.
That makes sense.
It'll make him faster.
Anyways,
But would
So,
it make it more furious?
in the trailer, you see The Rock's character go to his, I'm assuming they're Maori, the Maori tribe or whatever.
Yeah.
They're Samoans? Okay. So he goes to the Samoan tribe, right? And is that where the final battle takes place?
Yes.
Okay. Is the last fight scene Deckard, Shaw, and Hobbs doing their punching roundabout kung fu hustle all over cybernetic Idris Elba
Yes.
in the rain
Yes.
together?
Yes.
Is there a team combo attack that finishes him?
Yes.
Is it stupid?
So the Black Superman character has all of these cybernetic things, and they always show, like, from his eye perspective of now he can see how fast things are coming and where things are coming from, stuff like that. So they both figure out if one of them takes a punch, then the other person can punch him.
That is so stupid.
So it's like Idris Elba like can't multitask, and that's his weakness.
Pretty much.
His CPU
So
is too overloaded.
There is some cool scenes where, like, he punches him and then the other guy comes in and just does like a quick elbow to the face or something like that, or
The people's elbow.
The people's elbow. So, film wise, it was filmed really cool. There's a lot of fun stuff in it, but if you're looking for this is gonna make sense, then you're watching the wrong film.
No, dude. That's what
Why
I'm
don't they
telling
just shoot him?
Because he's Black Superman.
Because he is Black Superman. They explain this. He has an outfit that basically is a bulletproof outfit.
What about his head?
His head is basically cybernetic. Here's the premise of the movie. This is a guy that came back from a different movie that the Jason Statham character put a bullet in his head in a different movie.
Oh, like Idris Elba was already in Fast and the Furious?
Yes, apparently. Or they just kind of threw him in there, or I don't know. I haven't watched any of those.
They're probably retconning it how like they did in Tokyo Drift, where Han blew up, and then they decided to go back in time to explain all that BS. And it turned out that the guy that actually killed Han wasn't DK; it was totally Jason Statham for whatever reason.
So it was.
Oh, because they killed his brother.
So he actually killed him in a different movie or some other.
It wasn't a different movie. That movie doesn't exist.
I don't know. He put a bullet in his chest, put a bullet in his head. This secret organization rebuilt him. Somehow he looks like he's fine.
So he's Commander Shepard.
Yeah, he got skin graft.
Pretty much.
So
he's
he
a
got
robot.
skin graft? So he wasn't black when he died?
No.
Oh, wow. That was a choice.
Yeah. So
Makes you look scarier.
So since we're going into spoilers, I'll just explain. So they set up like this whole.
Hold on, before you do that, Nate, do you still want to talk about Grand Theft Auto? I want to give you a chance to talk about Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, but I don't need a whole lot of time to.
Okay.
Okay. So like if we say this right here is where the main battle takes place, we're gonna say this is where they set up all their traps. Bad guys meet them here and do all this bad guy stuff. They set it up so they can't use their weapons and stuff like that. The bad guys, steal the girl, get it in a helicopter. The helicopter is flying away this way. They get into vehicles and they
Into a vehicle.
And they do the thing from the previews where you see them throwing a chain around the helicopter. Now, they have a car holding onto a helicopter that is going along this distance to the traps. So the helicopter is trying to do its thing, and it can't get away for whatever reason. So they just decide...
Is it at least a big vehicle?
It's a beefy vehicle.
So it's just overloaded.
So they're traveling down this way towards the traps. And so the helicopter's like, why are we doing this? We could just lift up and just take the vehicle with us. So they start to do that, and they start doing this thing where they start pulling the other vehicle up. A couple other vehicles come up behind and clamp onto it and pull it down. And then it's not enough weight. They're still lifting it up. So another one comes along, clamps it down.
Is there going to be a scene?
Hold on. Just
I think.
hold your thought.
I think I'm predicting it.
Hold your thought. Yes. So now you have 3 cars holding down a helicopter, and it's still kind of lifting up. So they add one more car to this whole line that they're all connected together. So the helicopter, they going towards the traps, and they decide, I'm just going to pull them off the cliff. And they pull them off, start to pull the whole thing off the cliff. And the whole group of cars, they're just like, all right, now it's go time. And you're just like, so you set this up? You thought this is what's going to happen? They're like, now it's go time. So the guy in the front hits his nitrous. Not enough power.
Can't have Fast and Furious without nitrous.
Car 2 hits his nitrous. Starts to pull the helicopter in a little bit more. Jason Statham's car goes, now it's my turn. Literally says that. Flips the switch, hits the nitrous. They start to go back, and then the last car hits his nitrous. Now they're in control of the helicopter.
Oh shit, I'm dying, dude.
Hold on here. We're not done yet.
Oh,
There's
God.
a whole group of bad guys.
dumb.
There's a whole group of bad guys chasing them during the whole sign. By the time they hit their nitrous, they finally hit the trap spot where some explosions take out the other back cars, and one trap that kind of swings out randomly and nails another car. And you're just like, you set that up? You thought that he was going to get into a helicopter. We were going to rope onto him. All three of us were going to have to link up. We were going to have to get swung off a cliff almost to...
Is that the same scene where the Rock comes up and grabs it and tries pulling the shit together?
That happens just a little bit after the trap happens, and then the helicopter does one more thing to try to get away, and then the chain starts to slip, and the Rock's like, no, this is not happening, and he does this.
That's what I was.
Eddie, he uses his own strength to reattach it back onto the winch, and then they able to pull it in, and then they pull the helicopter down, and then that leads the three people in a trench where it starts raining, and it's the final fight scene. All set up.
You still want to talk about GTA? Because I don't think you can top that, buddy.
I've got such a big headache right now. Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
You've killed me.
I love it. It was so. I'm just watching it going. So you, and they're like just like we planned, and we're like, you planned that?
I'm sorry for the beef, everybody.
Like, who plans that? Who goes, I have the greatest idea ever. No, your idea is terrible. We're going to do this. We are going to do a battle here, and we're going to screw it up so bad that the bad guy's going to try to get away, and we're going to winch him up and do this whole thing.
We've done it, lads.
I can't wait to listen to this one back, man. This was so stupid.
So,
Wow.
anyways, I would give it a fun factor of 8, realistic factor of 3.
Ding.
Thank you. All around movie, about a 5.
Holy shit.
No, you should give it the dun, 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 dun.
Oh, the Price is Right. Yeah.
The Price is Right when it's wrong.
I
Okay.
don't think you can top that.
I
champ.
can't top it, but I mean, just throw it out there. Grand Theft Auto 5, they did come out with, finally, 5 years later, their casino DLC. And astonishingly enough, it actually put them back in the top spot in games purchased in the world. So that's pretty crazy to think that 5 years after the release date, that a DLC can basically launch Grand Theft Auto 5 back into
The
top-
mainstream.
the top spot.
It's amazing that for a game riddled with microtransactions to come out in a time when gambling in video games is under such scrutiny.
Right, they come out with
They've
a
got
gambling.
they've got the balls to put an actual goddamn casino in the game.
It's Rockstar. They don't
originally
give a fuck.
Like,
in the game.
I'm just gonna say right now, Strauss Zelnick His nuts are the size of this table. That's all I'm saying right now.
So in that aspect right there, just because like I have not been keeping up with Grand Theft Auto 5. I will get on every now and again and I'll play. I've tried some of the DLCs that they come out with in the past, and it just goes to show that it is basically strictly based on these microtransactions, because you got everything that came out with the casino DLC on top of, because you're making like $16,000 a mission. There's like 6 or 7 missions in the story of the casino DLC, and then you're getting like a bonus of.
There's a story to Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
You don't know anything about it.
You know,
Anyways,
Grand Theft Auto actually has like some really good stories.
The story, the story is.
I literally just go on there and just
But so then
terrorize things.
after you complete these missions, you're getting like a little bonus of $50,000. So
Ride
in
around
total,
on a bicycle.
You maybe make $1.5 million after doing the whole set of missions,
That's honestly more than I've ever had in online.
and you still can't buy a single thing that came out with the DLC.
So here's an example I like to use for GTA Online. So you got your shark cards, right? Mm-hmm. The $8 million shark card, it costs $100 in real life.
Right.
There is a property. It's your yacht. That yacht cost, I think at its most expensive, will cost $180 million in game. Bring out your calculator right now.
All right. We're going to calculate this.
Divide 180 million by 8 million.
Oops.
You got it?
180
80 million.
80 million.
Divided by 8 million.
That's 108 million.
I-
180.
I know. I keep messing it up. All right. Divided by
8 million.
8.
Times 100. May I see the phone? That yacht costs 2,250 real life dollars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my one right now. That's fucking ridiculous. And that alone is what has turned GTA Online into the single most profitable piece of media in history.
And they do it so subtly too.
And then they got the nads. They've got the stones to just be like,
I prefer cojones.
here's a casino.
Do you know why? Because it's because they're such in the shadows with that shit. Is that where's all the limelight at? It's on EA.
Right.
It's literally on EA. EA is the one that's taking the brute force of it, while Rockstar's like, feel the pocket before the bank comes to get us.
Right, but here's the difference.
They're getting the money to build the moon base.
Exactly.
So that when the law finally comes after them, they'll be like, no laws on the moon.
Yep, moon's haunted.
Right.
The Emperor of the Moon
But
strikes
this
again.
is the total difference between EA and them. EA was going, hey, buy this thing. But guess what? It's random.
No, the difference is...
This one is buy this, use it in the game.
By this, you want it.
Right.
You want it, don't you?
It's a direct thing. And the thing is that the
Yes,
difference
it is
between...
ridiculously priced.
The difference
but
between Rockstar and EA is that Rockstar doesn't call that microtransactions. You know what they call it? A surprise mechanic.
yeah.
No, that's EA.
That's what I'm saying. They call it a surprise mechanic.
Like a Kinder Egg.
Huh?
Yeah, but GTA calls them shark cards.
They're more direct with it. It's like, here, you want to use this money? Buy the money.
Right, it's-
Use it where you want, where it's random. That's gambling versus here's this direct item. That's what it is.
It's
Right.
it's
To me, it's along the lines of going to Disneyland and buying Donald Duck bucks.
They do.
You can do that.
So you go into the casino and they have the wheel. You can spin it. You can spin the wheel one time a day.
Mm-hmm.
Real life, 24 hours. So you get either a piece of clothing, RP.
there's experience in the game.
Yeah, which is the experience. Like your
No, I get it. Did
Okay.
you buy this?
What? No.
Oh,
The
all
casino.
the DLCs
all the
are free.
DLCs are free.
Okay. I don't play.
So here's the backup, just a smidge. If you linked your Amazon account to your Twitch account and your Twitch account to your
And then you cross the red wires with the blue wires.
pretty much, they gave you get a free penthouse suite in the casino, basically apartment, and you got $1.25 million.
They're smooth.
There's
Oh,
literally
motherfuckers are smooth.
there's an actual social tier based on whether or not you're a Twitch streamer.
They're creating a new social hierarchy.
Yeah. So,
They're madmen.
well, no, because you can do that with just having an account and going. You can link your Twitch account to.
Right, but
Like I say, if like me as a normal person, I don't have a Twitch account.
I mean, I have a Twitch account.
That's because you're a sellout.
Yeah.
Am I now?
No,
Well, you create account.
you're the people streamer.
You're right.
But so
Never
okay,
streamed
so
once.
I got a free penthouse and I got 1.25 million. I go in. I can't even fully upgrade. It costs 6 million to fully upgrade. So I got like the base, the bedroom.
Just spend like $100. You do if that's $8 million right there. It'll get you by.
Nate,
Yeah, it'll give me
I'm
two
just-
purchases in
Nate, this is what I'm...
$100.
That's 2 more than you had.
When the game came out, that $8 million could get you everything.
Yes.
Economy rises, bro.
Like I say, like there's actually.
I'm
been
gonna blame
inflation in the
minimum
game.
wage on this.
Yep.
Minimum wage went up, so everything else went up in the game.
All right,
It's-
so-
nobody can
It's
afford
just-
to
it
live
is
there.
Just crazy to
Yeah.
And
that
it's just got me out of this. That's why I live on the other
unless
outside of the city.
unless
Stop.
you continuously
I
play
live in a
Grand
small
Theft Auto,
house on the
Pause,
other
he's
side of
talking.
the island.
there's almost
We get it. You live in the boonies.
there's almost no reason.
Why are you yelling at
To-
me?
Because he's talking.
I
to
feel like
continuously play the
this
game.
is like sad.
You are sad.
Okay.
There's,
Yes.
really, there's no reason to because you don't make enough money in doing the missions to be able to buy anything.
Because you know what the difference is between you and the average GTA player?
Is
You're not already rich.
You're not playing the game every day. The person that's playing the game every day, for whether it be streaming or just for personal fun time, has that money that you don't have. The reason why those shark cards exist is because of people like you that don't play every day, so that they can get the stuff they need to get where they want to be. That's it. That's the only difference. Because you don't play every day, you're not making that money.
Nate, I'm just gonna say this.
You don't have the squad.
Go on to GTA. Visit me
It is
out
what
by
it
the
is.
ocean. It's very
They don't have a
cheap.
squad.
It's very nice. I live in a nice neighborhood.
No, you don't.
I mean, it's a small.
I don't have a
small house.
squad.
Who are you trying to
Everybody
convince?
everybody on the servers
I
is
just want
just trying
visitors.
to kill everybody.
Nobody
else.
goes to
Right,
that side of
but
the
a
island.
lot of the people have a squad, and that's what also helps because then you can do the heist tier missions, and the heists make you
Yeah,
a
but
lot of
even-
money.
I was gonna say because
for
like
for what is out now and everything almost costs $4 million.
Right, but how much do you play? You legitimately said at the beginning that you play every so often, meaning that you're barely doing it like what, once a week?
So if I was to play, I could probably make decent
Exactly.
money.
That's what it is. And it's all of that. Your complaint is because you're not playing every day.
You know what I love
And it's
about
not,
GTA?
It's not
I
accessible
sign
to
in
the
every
average
once in a while.
person.
It isn't.
And every once in a while,
that,
they just
that's
like,
where it
here's
is. The
$3
average
million.
person better booty up 500
And then I'm
bucks
like,
to be able to
I have money
upgrade
to
that
spend.
shitty
I
ass
was almost
penthouse.
broke.
so with GTA, I stopped playing in like 2015, 2016.
The only good thing was just jumping into the airbase and stealing
and
planes.
that was
I
fun.
love
Now
doing
you-
that.
now
I
you-
still
That
do
was like
Now-
that was like
You can buy a
the
hangar
entry.
on the airbase and you have access.
Why the hell
to
would
it.
I want to do that? I want the cops to chase me. I don't
So
want to buy a hangar. I ain't made of money.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I just go on and steal a jet.
Exactly.
I'm just saying now you can buy a hangar and you
With
can
a
get on there and then you
90%.
can
Why would
steal-
I do
you
that?
can
With a
steal jet.
90% fail rate.
Five-finger discount with a 100% explosion rate.
so here's
It's so satisfying when you
Let
get
him
that
speak,
jet off
you
the ladder.
interrupting asshole.
What?
so
Whoa!
okay. So here's my thing.
Xavier, I can't believe you. Sorry.
You mother-
Go.
Yeah. See, this is what I deal with, Caleb. Welcome to my world.
I don't even live here. Okay, so my thing with GTA, I was one of those people who played every single day, but the problem was I was playing solo.
Yep.
So when heists came out, I had to be with other people who were playing solo, playing with randoms. Nearly every random is an idiot.
Yep.
I still haven't beaten the third heist, the one where you go to like the chemical plant or something, because like I know exactly what to do, and sometimes I'll play with like my brother who lives in Nevada. He knows exactly what to do. The other two people will always ruin it.
It's a squad-based deal.
Yes, we have tried that heist dozens of times, like to the point where we just gave up. And then bikers came out, and we are like, okay, this is a really cool system. I can have my own biker club. We do illicit activities that will make us what was at the time lots of money. The issue with that is, in order to make the money for those missions, they're free roam missions, so other players can come in, attack you, blow up your stuff, and then you lose all that money. You have to invest money in order to get it back. So if you invest money into that, they blow it up, you lose hundreds of thousands of dollars.
GTA isn't a solo game. It is a squad-based game, akin to any MMO or even some random ass shooter.
I play it 100% solo.
Because you don't have friends.
So
I have enemies.
There's a part two. So it was just me and my brother, and then my brother just completely stopped playing because he was like, "Screw this!"
Bullshit.
And I was like, I tried to do it by myself. I couldn't do it. I would try to get randoms to help me with the business. Couldn't do it. Corporations came out, and that completely flattened me because it opened up new vehicles that were nuts. There was my favorite one from that is the flying motorcycle that also shoots rockets.
Yeah,
that is crazy. So here, this was the final straw for me. So say I'm not even doing a free roam mission. Say I'm just walking around or just like driving, because I honestly do just like driving down the Pacific Highway thing and then just coming back, just playing the music. Like that was something I used to do after work because it was just really relaxing. The issue is, you get someone who's made so much money with their clan or because they've paid into it, and they have big death tank or really big like bomber or whatever, and they just grief the whole server, right?
Yeah.
So
on the freeway, and Billy asshole in the super tank.
So you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna blow them up. Like I'm gonna do everything in my power to stop them, even if it's only for a couple minutes. So you blow up their vehicle. Here's the thing, that vehicle costs tens of millions of dollars, which means the insurance on that vehicle will set you back like $2 million. And for someone who's a solo player, even getting $1 million by yourself is a big ordeal. So you blow up that vehicle, your entire bank is wiped.
They take the insurance from the person that blows it up?
Yes.
So it basically tries to
yeah.
keep people from
blowing up
just
vehicles.
randomly blowing
That's
up
hot.
vehicles.
Oh my god.
And back in the day,
and
back in the day with like normal cars, it would be like it would take a couple grand out of your bank.
Why
so
would you?
So it's not really enough to dissuade people. So if you really didn't like someone, blow up their car. Sure, I'll take the hit. But now it's just like the only option is to server hop. But there's someone like that on every single server, without fail.
Join me out where I live in the game.
I'm never.
There's nobody out there. Everybody plays in this half. I play in the whole completely other side.
You live in the desert.
Yeah, nobody ever bothers me. I just kind of do my own thing.
I would rather play Red Dead Online for 3 years than play GTA again.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
It does. It gets that kind of rage going because it's like you just want to do your thing, and then you like I literally just finished a mission and I was on my way back to the penthouse. I was basically just leaving the game. I was just trying to go back to a safe spot so the next time I spawned, I'd spawn in that area. And
What?
the next thing I know, I blew up. And it said, so-and-so killed you. And then I looked and someone
you threatened his air.
His airspace, I guess.
Yeah, you threatened his air. Anyways.
Plug something.
Pause. What do you give that DLC and the whole game as a whole?
Wow, what is that face?
Because it's stupid and I hate it.
So if they implemented some of the stuff
I don't want explanations. I just want numbers.
Not two.
Okay. Plug.
I'm going to talk about GTA again real quick.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
The game was I would have given the game a 9 out of 10 from beginning to heists. After heist, like as soon as bikers hit, ruined everything. Okay.
Well, the fact that you can't do anything in a invite only lobby with your friends.
Yeah, that's too.
that-
You can't do those missions unless
The
they're
only way you
in a
can do
public
it
lobby.
is if you're in a server and everybody leaves. That's the only way you could do it, because you're technically still in a public lobby.
Okay, plug. I'm recording D&D sessions. The channel is called D&D with the Boys. We've got 2 episodes out. One of which is honestly just a mic test with our DM Ryan and our brute Chance, and he's gonna kill me for saying that, but you are a brute.
Does he listen to the podcast?
Yeah.
Does he listen to our podcast?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Then we released an episode 0 explaining the background of the world, the background of the characters. We're hopping in right in the middle of a campaign because we just.
It's,
not?
re-
It's just- why
it's
not?
really good.
Again, brash words, but if you've got thick skin, watch it.
Nailed It will also be. I'll post that on our not our website, but on our Facebook and our Twitter, to link to yours and to the YouTube account I mentioned last episode. So.
Wait, you mentioned a YouTube account last
You
episode?
didn't. You just said you were doing a thing.
Did I?
Yeah, but you didn't
Yeah.
really say anything.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'll whatever.
Plug it.
Plug.
It's not. There's nothing
Plug.
there yet.
Plug.
I already said it's just near the
Yeah.
wall on YouTube.
Oh.
Xavier, put a plug in that,
I despise your existence.
and then eventually we'll pull it out.
Mostly on my YouTube channel. Thank you, Nate. You understand my pains. This is the shit I have to deal with on a daily basis when you're not here.
I feel bad because
How much time do we have left?
Too much. Anyways, on YouTube I'll be doing something called the Fool's Adventures and the Full Walkthroughs, spelled like FOOL.
Not FEWL.
No. And it's just Fool's Adventure will mostly be like one-offs and Final Fantasy content, and then the full walkthrough will be like actual game playthroughs and stuff like that. So yeah, just look out for that. It'll be a little while before I can get all that caught up because I have to deal with computers and whatnot.
What's your... I guess I probably shouldn't ask your gamer tag.
Nero the Fool.
In Final Fantasy 14?
Oh, 14? No, it's Nero Mine. I'm not going to spell it for you.
Okay. Everyone who's in his group, you should talk more.
They don't listen to my podcast.
Why not?
I don't know.
Just send it to him. Just be like, here's the message.
Anyways, thank you for joining us for the Nailed It podcast. We're going to leave now because it's been too long. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
It's the-
Thank you for listening to the Nailed It podcast. If you like it, please subscribe to all our social media. Our Facebook is at the Nailed It podcast. Our Twitter is the Nailed It pod. Also look for us on Patreon. Thank you for listening.
Nice. Nailed it.